As for Sadao, every day he examined the wound carefully. The last stitches had been pulled out this morning, and the young man would in a fortnight be nearly as well as ever. So he kept examining him every day very carefully. He examined his wound carefully, and his last stitches were also removed. The threads had been pulled out. And the young man would in 15 days be as well as ever. Sadao went back to his office and carefully typed a letter to the chief of police, reporting the whole matter. On the 21st day of February, an escaped prisoner was washed up on the shore in front of my house. So he wrote down that on 21st day of February, an escaped prisoner was washed up on the shore in front of my house. So far he typed, and then he opened a secret drawer of his desk and put the unfinished report into it. He wrote this much and he kept that paper in a secret drawer. On the 7th day after that, two things happened. In the morning, the servants left together, their belongings tied in a large square cotton kerchiefs. So after 7th day, two things happened. The servants left. They all tied their belongings in square cotton cloths. When Hannah got up in the morning, nothing was done. The house not cleaned and the food not prepared, and she knew what it meant. When she got up, she saw the house had not been cleaned and the food also was not prepared. So she knew, she could guess what had happened. She was dismayed. She was dismayed. And even terrified. She was also scared. But her pride as a mistress would not allow her to show it. But she was too proud to show. Instead, she inclined her head gracefully when they appeared before her in the kitchen. When the servants came in front of her to tell her, she just inclined her head. She turned her head and gracefully, with dignity, she paid them off and thanked them for all that they had done for her. She paid them whatever was due to them, and she thanked them for what they had done for her. They were crying, but she did not cry. The servants were crying, but she did not cry. The cook and the gardener had served Sadao since he was a little boy in his father's house. The cook and the gardener were very old servants. They had worked even when Sadao was a little boy. They had worked for his father. And Yumi cried because of the children. Yumi cried because she was attached to the children. She was so grieving that after she had gone, she ran back to Hannah. If the baby misses me too much tonight, send for me. I am going to my own house and you know where it is. Yumi, she went, and after going for some time, for some distance, she ran back. She came back and she told Hannah that if the baby misses her too much, if he cries, then Hannah should call her. She was going to her own house and Hannah knew where it was. Thank you, Hannah said, smiling, but she told herself she would not send for Yumi, however the baby cried. She said thank you and smiled at her, but she was determined not to call Yumi even if the baby cried too much. She made the breakfast and Sadao helped with the children. Neither of them spoke of the servants beyond the fact that they were gone. Now, she made breakfast and Sadao helped with the children, and they did not speak much about the servants. They only said that they've gone, they've left. But after Hannah had taken morning food to the prisoner, she came back to Sadao. After she had given food to the prisoner, she came back to Sadao. Why is it we cannot see clearly what we ought to do? She was very disturbed, so she asked him, why can't we see clearly? Why can't we be more decisive? Why it is so difficult for us to take a decision? She asked him. Even the servants see more clearly than we do. Even the servants know what to do. The servants were very sure of themselves. Hannah and Sadao could not be so sure of their actions. That is why she was confused, and that is why she was asking this from Sadao. Why are we different from other Japanese? Other Japanese would think differently, and they would never think of helping any American, any enemy. Sadao did not answer, but a little later he went into the room where the prisoner was and said brusquely, he said brusquely, "Today you may get up on your feet." That means you may stand. "I want you to stay up only 5 minutes at a time." So he wanted him to get up and stand only for 5 minutes at a time. "Tomorrow you may try twice as long. Tomorrow you may stand for 10 minutes. That is twice as much as today. It would be well that you get back your strength as quickly as possible." So this was an indication. The doctor wanted the prisoner to get well soon. He saw the flicker of terror on the young face. He saw a flicker, an expression of terror, fright, come into the young man's face. That was still very pale. It was very pale. That means he was still very weak. "Okay," the boy murmured. Evidently, he was determined to say more. Evidently, he was determined to say more. He wanted to say more. "I feel I ought to thank you, doctor, for having saved my life." "Don't thank me too early," Sadao said coldly. He saw the flicker of terror again in the boy's eyes. Sadao saw again the same fright come in the young boy's face, in his eyes. Why? Because now Sadao said, "Don't thank me too early." That means he had saved his life, but that was not the last of it. Terror as unmistakable as an animal's. It was very clear, very apparent, very definite. The scars on his neck were crimson for a moment. The blood rushed into his face, into his neck and face, obviously, because of the fear and what he had just heard. So his scars became very red. Those scars, what were they? Sadao did not ask. Though he must have been curious, but he did not ask him what was those scars. In the afternoon, the second thing happened. Hannah, working hard on unaccustomed labor, saw a messenger come to the door in official uniform. Now in the afternoon, the other thing happened, and Hannah, who was not used to working hard, doing all the labor work, doing all the cleaning and cooking and all those things, she had so many servants to do these works for her. So she was not used to doing these works. She saw a messenger come to the door in official uniform. Her hands went weak and she could not draw her breath. Her hands she felt as if they had become weak and lost all strength, and she could not draw her breath. She could not breathe. She was finding it difficult to breathe. The servants must have already told. She thought the servants must have told the authorities that they were sheltering an American. She ran to Sadao, gasping, unable to breathe, unable to utter a word, unable to speak a word. But by then the messenger had simply followed her through the garden, and there he stood. He had followed her and he was standing just behind her. She pointed at him helplessly. So she was not able to speak. She just pointed at him helplessly. Sadao looked up from his book. He was in his office, the other partition of which was thrown open to the garden for the southern sunshine. Half of the partition was open to let the southern sunshine come in.